Hey guys, this episode of Geekings is going to be recorded on my webcam because I just went to go use my camera and the battery's exhausted because it runs on batteries and I absolutely hate that. But, my dad used basically all the batteries in the house on his electronics that he's been playing with, so I pretty much have to work with what I've got. So, this Geekings episode is on Final Fantasy IX, and surprisingly enough, for this being my favorite, all-time favorite Final Fantasy, I don't have a lot of props for you. When the little tiny figures were coming out, I didn't really have the money to buy them like I did with Final Fantasy VIII, but, you know, it is a goal to get them someday. So basically, all I have is the game itself, strategy guide, and I got really picky about getting strategy guides because not just helping me find everything, but because I like the art in it. Like this one you can see is really beat up and stuff because I used it to draw a lot. I've drawn every single one of the characters except for Quina. Every single one of them. Actually, I might have drawn Quina as well. I had a horrible time with Armor. I could not get him, but I've drawn Vivi several times, and it's awesome, and I've done Garnet several times. And I can do Zidane with my eyes closed, but, you know, that kind of stuff really helped me to evolve as an artist. And then I have this, which people have told me is really hard to get. I absolutely love this book. There's just so many beautiful pictures. In fact, you want to see my fail? Like, now this is my 2001-ish artwork. I think that's when it came out. So this is how bad my Armorant is. And I think that was actually a good try. So, yeah, I literally still have art plugged in this book from when I was working on it. So yeah, whenever I was in my one school, my teacher used to love to look at my work so much that she would print out everything I had and give copies to other students. Here's a copy of one of the characters I drew. This is actually from a book. She's one of my favorite characters from one of the books I've read. It's the Sun Sword Broken Crown books. Like, I don't know if you've heard of them. But yes, that is where that is from. You know, they don't give pictures of any of the characters, but I would, you know, use from what I had in my imagination, whatever. But yeah, this gives a lot of good resources. Like, I love these headshots of Garnet. Some of the work, like, there's other pages in this book and they're not all mine, but, hold on. Alright. It's like sideways, but can you, like, see the headshots? Yeah. I love those. I love this art style. I know a lot of people complained about Final Fantasy IX because they didn't like the art style. And for me, after playing Final Fantasy VIII and seeing the realistic tone to it, it was like, wow, what is this? But I got over it. You know what used to freak me out about Aiko? If you look at Aiko and you don't know, like, it literally looks like she's wearing, like, no pants, like her crotch is hanging out. And that's what you think. But I've looked at a lot of cosplayers, and I just dumped everything out of here. Sorry. And it's actually like a bodysuit. I know that they wouldn't make a character that was, like, naked and stuff, but, like, yeah. I always used to think that when I was a teenager. Yeah, some of the other cool things is, like, they have, like, the worlds and stuff, so you can see, like, really awesome shots of the towns and stuff. I really loved Clara. I'm very sad that it got destroyed. Clara. Oh gosh, there's so much, like, glare. Sorry about that. Um, for those of you who don't know the basic story of Final Fantasy IX, the main character, who I'm going to call Zidane, I know that Dissidia calls him Zidane, and my friend used to call him Zidane. The main character, he's the blonde guy with like the monkey tail. He's a thief, and he doesn't know where he originally came from. The only thing he remembers is the color blue. But he was adopted by this troupe of theater thief people. Um, the story revolves around a lot of airships. It's very kind of steampunkish, medieval stuff. And it also revolves around a princess named Garnet, and she escapes from her palace because she knows that her mother is going down a bad path, takes the name Dagger. A lot of stuff is going on here. You see a lot of war going on, started by Garnet's mother and antagonized by the main villain named Kuja. You also see a lot of emphasis put on the summons. The summons always have a good bit of emphasis in some way in every Final Fantasy placed on them, but this was like only summoners can use the summons, which Garnet is and Aiko is, and it's only a specific village, and you'll learn how Garnet came to be a summoner and stuff if it's only that village specific. Basically, there's a lot of different races. You see human, you see the little monkey tail thing. There's also black mage. The rats are often considered red mages. There's the summoners, which all have horns. There's the Qs, which look very androgynous, so you can't tell whether Quina is male or female. I always assumed female, just because of the clothing, but could be either way. But they try to bring back a lot of the traditional races into this game. Kuja and Zidane are the same race. I will ruin that for you. Yeah, let me see if I can find a good picture of Kuja, because he is actually, besides Zidane, Kuja is my favorite character, hands down, my favorite character. Okay, that's right. I always used to try to draw Kuja and couldn't get any references of him, because literally in this art book, this is all you get. His back. That's all you get. But yeah, a lot of traditional magic, white mage healing, black mages use fire and elemental and stuff. What else? There's a lot of very unique locations. The music, by far, is the most beautiful. I actually downloaded the soundtrack recently, and I'd forgotten how beautiful the music is. The music is fantastic. For those of you who really just don't like it, think it's, not the traditional Final Fantasy, please, please look at it again. I honestly love it enough to stop playing Vagrant Story and start playing Final Fantasy IX just to relax. The characters are really unique too. Like I said, there's the traditional roles. Your thief is Zidane, your white mages are Aiko and Garnet. You have I'm not really sure what he's supposed to be doing, but he's like your claw user, Amarant is. Then you have what you consider your tanks, both Steiner and oh gosh, Freya. I feel terrible now. There's also a character named Beatrix, who I love, 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 but a lot of people love her. She's actually, her and Steiner are like the main knights that take care of Alexandria, which is where Garnet is from. There is the typical, they stuck a Cid in there. Cid is the leader of Lindblom, and he's Garnet's uncle. There's also an entire other world called Terra that both Zidane and Kuja are from, and Terra is a blue hue, so you see where the blue comes from. For me personally, I'm just going to share a few of my favorites. I already shared that my favorite main character is Zidane. My favorite, obviously, villain is Kuja. And I'd like to let you know that I actually typically do not like lead characters. Like, they're usually not my favorite characters, but in this case, Zidane is definitely a favorite. My favorite locations are Clara and, I really like the Desert Palace, even though it's frustrating. That's where Kuja is from. I also just, there's just, like, the continent as a whole, the second continent that you visit, it's just awesome. Favorite class is probably the summoner, just because I love summons, and the idea of being able to summon myself, like, being able to summon all these cool monsters would be cool. Actually, like, when we were littler, me and my friend used to wear, like, different types of jewelry, and we would pretend that a summon was in each and every one of them, and, you know, based on what we liked the most is who we'd pick. Favorite summon this game is Medine. You'll learn more about Medine closer to the end. It's one of Aiko's summons. The Shiva in this, of course, is gorgeous, but she's not my favorite in this one. It's definitely Medine. What else? Oh, their limit breaks are super awesome in this, and my favorite limit breaks are still, like, they're still definitely Zidane's. They are so creative, and you get to use them in Dissidia, which is really cool. I love also that they have these fairy battles. You know, you're fighting, like, tame creatures, and if you give them stuff, they'll give you stuff and everything. There's a lot of really super cool side quests in this game. I love it. And I also really love the Black Mage Village, which I didn't, like, say before, but I really love the Black Mage Village. Whenever I first played this game, I used to think that the ending bosses were, like, terrifying. But really, like, if you become a heal whore like I am, like, you heal constantly, it's not hard. Still, the hardest bosses are still Ultimecia from 8. Still so hard, just because the way the junction system works. But, the elemental bosses, especially the water elemental, oh gosh, it's so hard. Ugh, so hard. I still really, really hate that boss. It's just like in, Skies of Arcadia? No, not Skies of Arcadia. Grandia 2. I know, we're pulling real far back now. Your final boss was so easy, but the eyeball boss was so hard. You know, it's like, aren't the final bosses supposed to be like the hardest bosses ever, but they're not. And for the record, I have still not beat Ozma in this game. Like, it's a goal, but it's really difficult. I'm probably never gonna 100% the game, but I more play it for fun and for the story and stuff than for anything. Trying to think of anything else I want to say. I think that's pretty much it, because if I continue to talk to you guys, I'm just going to keep giving away more and more spoilers, and the point of this is to catch your attention, help you feel a little nostalgia, and get you to play the game, because, you know, it's a really good game. So, I'll leave it at that, and I'm really, really sorry that I haven't had an episode in a little while. Episodes should be more frequent now. It's just that we had a little derp, some family problems, and some scheduling problems and stuff, so we really couldn't get it out. But, yeah. Everything should be good to go now. I hope you all have a great day, and I appreciate that you take the time to watch this. Bye.